What's up, brother? What's going on? What's good, man?
What's up? What's up? How we doing today?
Man, we good. We good. We just out here, trying to, get ready for this big thing we got going on. How's everything, over there in your neck of the woods?
Everything good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Staying busy as always this time of the year.
Oh yeah,
Football season.
it's been a real busy one, man. So, we want to welcome those who don't know who we are. This is Elite 100 Football Chop Up. Uh, I'm your host, AG Wasim, and I got AJ, Coach AJ Brooks, as well. So, we look forward to, hopefully giving you a little entertainment and more importantly, talking about Central Florida football. Uh, what's up, John? How you doing, brother? But anyway, with that being said, John is a good guy, does a lot of work in youth sports. With that being said, we want to start off the show like we always do. Uh, Sponsorships. It's your lane, AJ. Go ahead and let them know.
Well, sponsorships are important to us because it allows us to put on this our All Star game for free for the kids. We don't believe that they should have to pay for an All Star game. Luckily, last year we were able to receive sponsors to help us. Our main sponsor is always the uniform. So uniforms are always the number one issue that we have. We allowed the young men to keep the jerseys afterwards, so it's not like we're trying to stockpile uniforms. We personally don't want the uniforms. We just want to make this as great of an experience for these young men as we can because we believe that great young men they deserve this type of recognition for the reward, and that reward was the 4 years that they put in, highlighted by a great senior season. So, if you would like to donate to us, you can get in contact with us on any of our media platforms. Send us a message, or you can reach out to us on our email, which is elite100prospects@gmail.com. And we would greatly appreciate any donation. No donation is too small or too minimum. It will all add up in the long run, and we greatly appreciate it.
Only thing I'd like to add to that is we were blessed, not lucky. But we were blessed, so we really appreciate it. And also, I like to add that we're trying to make we're more concerned about them being good young men for certain. As good stewards, we all have to, we want to make sure that they leave Central Florida and wherever they go, they represent their families, their coaches, they represent our area. We all get happy when we see someone from Central Florida do something that that's really exciting. We all are very happy for that. So I just want to make sure that we as a community help out and make sure that we get these guys 'cause the uniforms we get, they're not cheesy. They're very nice uniforms, and they get full uniforms, pants, jersey, everything. And speaking as someone who has a young kid, I wish I'd have kept that kind of stuff because it's the kids don't ever believe you was any good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something that we all kind of go through as we get older. So hey, once again, we appreciate everybody for coming through and tuning in. All right, so let's start up, man, with the game of the week recap. We had a barn burner game of the week.
Yes, we had a good one.
Tell the people about it a little bit.
Good one. Last week was Edgewater visiting Jones. It was a crazy game. Very competitive game, like we expected. Um, Edgewater came out and Jones got the ball first. They had a quick 3-and-out. Edgewater received the ball. Jones backed them up deep. I believe Edgewater received the ball at the 4-yard line. I
Right.
believe they got the ball at the 4-yard line. First play of the game, they run an off tackle right. Said got 6 yards. I'm like, oh man, that's 6 yards. That's a big chunk. So now the ball's at the 10. Second and 4, 90 yards out the gate. Just that quick, it's 7-0. But Jones, they were able to recover.
For those who don't know, because some people may not know, say what is Said's full name?
Cedric Baxter Jr. also known as said CJ C4 whatever. But said he broke 90 yards. Jones was able to gain things, to gain their composure. Halftime it was 7-0. So it's still a ball game. It's a one possession ball game between two great quality programs. What we expected. Um, Edgewater receives the ball. The first possession of the second half, and Jones was able to bottle Sid up in the first half after that run, so to speak. And then the first possession, he broke 60. Now the score is 14-0, and I'm a little concerned because I'm just not sure. It's raining, it's wet. The passing game isn't really getting off for Jones like it could. So I'm a little concerned for him at that point. But they were able to put together two drives late in the game. They scored a touchdown on both of them. First touchdown, I'm trying to think who scored the first touchdown. I can't even remember who scored the first touchdown, to be honest with you. But I do know that Derek Rogers scored the second touchdown, making it 13-14. But Edgewater blocks the extra point, and instead of it being 14-14 late in the fourth quarter, it's 13-14. Now Jones, needs a stop. It's about 6 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. They need a stop to get the ball back. They did exactly that. Get a quick 3 and out. Edgewater punts the ball. It's a bad punt. If Jones just clears it, gets away, they'll get the ball at their 35, 40-yard line. So they'll be plus 35. They're already in field goal range. But it's raining, so you expect them to try to score a touchdown. Unfortunately, I guess the young man didn't hear Peter. The ball hits him. Edgewater recovers the ball. So now Edgewater has the ball with about 4 minutes left. And if they're able to pick up three first downs, if my math is correct, if they're able to pick up 3 first downs, with how many timeouts Jones had with their 4-minute offense, they could run out the game, and they did exactly that. Said picked up a 3rd and 5, and that was that. Game over.
Well, hey, we knew it was going to be a good game. 14-13 is a good game. There's nothing really for Jones to hang their hat on. I
Absolutely
do.
not.
I'm sorry, I made some
Correct. D
stuff up.
Wade. D Wade scored the first touchdown. He went in at Wildcat quarterback. That's right. D Wade did score that first touchdown.
And Duda scored the second, right, with a
Duda
fade.
scored the second one. Yep, with a fade.
Yeah, but I do want to address one thing, and you know what it is. Um, you know, a lot of these kids, we know them personally. We try to be very objective and very fair. When we're doing this. You know, if we weren't being objective and fair, we would pick certain teams all the time. We would always, talk about certain players. We know that you guys are watching because we had guys that are frustrated that we pick certain teams, which is and all that kind of stuff. But we have to have an honest opinion about what we're doing. So guys, know that we love you, we care for you. This is an honest opinion. There's nothing negative about you. Basically all these kids and all these teams we talk about are probably some of the better kids in the area. So we just want you guys to go out there and ball and just let that take care of itself. You know, uh, you know, we got number love. Like I said, dudes are upset with AJ. You pick Jones against everybody. Like, so I'm like, man,
Listen,
how?
man, I like Jones, bro. It's a quality program, and they got a lot of athletes. So I always pick Jones, but it was a little situation. Nah, I ain't too much worried about it. But whatever it is
Yeah,
what
no,
it is.
I just want to make sure that all the kids understand because we know you watching. We have love for you, but like when we said that we felt nobody would stop C4, the man had 254 yards.
250.
So if you want him to shut me up, because I promise you, I'm a man of my word. The Cowboys lost. Y'all saw me in a a pirate suit with a big with a velvet shirt on. It was 150 degrees in Florida. But if you want to shut me up, do something about it. We didn't. Like we knew it was going to be a good game. We just said that we can't. That we felt that he would be a factor, which he was.
Right.
So we want the best for all the kids, every last one of them. So we more importantly, we just hope you guys stay healthy. That way you
Absolutely.
can go off to college. So yeah. So with that being said, that's a little housekeeping out the way. Uh,
So
now,
with that game though, that brings Edgewater to 4-0. That brings Jones to 1-2. At the
who was the
same
player of the game?
time, so player of the game was said C4 Cedric Baxter. He had 28 carries, 245 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The one thing that I will take away from that game, even though Edgewater found a way to win, for the last 3 or 4 years, I'd be surprised how they find a way to grit it out at the end, but they do. But the one alarming point was they were only able to score 14 points. So typically, you and I both know if you go to a Jones High School game and the opposing team only has 14 points,
Yeah.
9.5 times out of 10, Jones wins. Well, this was the half a game. Edgewater won it. But that would be the only takeaway I would take as far as a negative, I would say, for Edgewater. But at the end of the day, they find a way to win the game, man.
Well, my thing is you have two good coaches, and just the same thing I would say for Rolson and Apopka. If you don't beat those guys, there's a chance that you could lose the game.
Yeah,
You got to put up some points. Like they're gonna all have good defenses. Me personally, I think to beat any of those three teams we're talking about, you're gonna have to score normally at least 21 points.
yeah.
Because if you keep it close, I think every last one of those teams can come back on you.
Find a way.
Yeah, they
They'll
find a way.
find a
Like you
way to
say,
get
you'll look
hot,
up.
score 2 touchdowns quick.
Right. You'll look up, and that's what they
Leave
do.
Tate
So,
alone.
that which has a lot to do about their coaching. They've had, in the area, over the last 5 years, I think that it's safe to say Apopka, Jones, Edgewater, have been the top teams as well as Lake Minneola. Lake
Yeah.
Minneola, has went to state. So, big shout out to all those coaches.
Osceola,
Osceola, of course,
and
has
Seminole.
definitely been in Seminole. Those teams have all been, all of them have good
And
coaching staff.
Coco. We can kick Coco too.
Coco as well, and they all have good coaching staff. So
Right.
you're gonna have to beat them. They're not gonna give it to you.
Mm-mm.
That's just how it works. So big shout out, to Edgewater Eagles. They they're gonna be a hard out. Say
Yeah.
C4 is a hard out, but Jones, I think it was a district game. And it's gonna be interesting. This makes quite frankly, Jones and Wakaba are gonna have to probably be a game of the week because whoever loses that game probably won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that district takes two. I
Yeah,
think the
definitely.
district would take two.
Might get three. It might get three. Depends on who wins that game. Because if it might get three because but it's gonna be rough. Like I said, it's gonna be that's a good district. Like that's a heck of a district for for some football. It really is.
Well,
So
they're supposed to play with Kava October 21st. So
okay,
we'll see.
that's on a Thursday night. That's gonna be interesting. So hey, that'll be a game we'll see if both teams continue to win. Uh, Jones, who does Jones have? Edgewater has Popka, and Jones has who this week?
West Orange.
Okay, but next week Jones has that juggernaut IMG, correct? After West
Yeah.
Orange.
Yep.
Yeah, and for the people who are gonna say this, no, they're not gonna drop if they lose to IMG. Because so let's get that out the way now. But we're rooting for those guys. All right, so now we at our everybody. This is the point of the show that everybody gets a little tense sometimes. We have our weekly top 10. We had some shakeups because we had a couple of losses that happened. Uh, but let's go ahead and go with who's in at number 10.
Well, let's start with the small schools.
Okay. Yep,
At
that's
number
true.
5, we got Foundation. Foundation, they kicking in the door. They're 3-1. They beat Melbourne. I mean, they beat Mount Dora Christian Academy 21-7. Mount Dora Christian Academy was our number 14 last week. But they took a loss to Foundation, so Foundation finds themselves at the number 5 spot.
Uh,
At number 4, as I previously mentioned, was Mount Dora Christian Academy. Now it is Windermere Prep. They're undefeated, 4-0 team. Last week they beat Riverdale Ridge 42-21.
wow.
And this week they'll be away. They'll have to play Pinecrest on the road. But Windermere Prep 4-0 right now. Good, strong season right now.
Yep.
At the number 3 spot, we're looking at First Academy 3-0. Last week they beat Orangewood 22-8. This week they'll have a bye, so they'll just sit tight and see what happens around them.
Right.
But First Academy at the 3 spot, 3-0. Number 2, we looking at CFCA. CFCA 2-0. They've been on a bye for a long time. It's been about 2 weeks now that they've been on a
Yeah,
bye.
they were supposed to play what Mainland, and then that game got rained out.
Went out or something. So
Yeah,
they've been on the bye for a minute, but they play Sefner Christian this week. So I know they'll be excited to get back on put the pads back on.
yeah.
But CFCA number 2, and number 1 is Lake Highland Prep. Undefeated so far, 3-0. They beat Masters Academy last week, 42-7, and they're at home this week against Trinity Prep, and I expect a similar score, if not worse. So yeah, I think they'll beat Trinity pretty handily.
Well, yeah, it'll be interesting. He'll beat those guys, but the following week, it'll be very interesting because they'll be going up against Bishop Moore, who's not. And
Not a cupcake.
we're gonna probably have to make that one of the games of the week for certain.
Hey,
Uh,
if we be honest, if we put Bishop Moore in this
right. If they were
division
over
of
there, if
private
they were over there, right,
schools,
right.
they would be, in my opinion, number 1. I'm just,
Hey, it's still there. So we gonna
Bishop,
see the two.
Bishop Moore lost to Edgewater the first game of the season, 22-7. So
But I thought the Edgewater had like 4 to 5
I don't
touchdowns
care
called back.
what I don't care what was the situation. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's
I'm
part
saying,
of
I
the
mean,
game. We got to execute.
right.
We got to
But
execute.
yeah,
If you get a touchdown because this man holding me, hell, it shouldn't count.
nah, I don't think like one thing that I do hate as a former referee, and I'll say this, and hopefully if we have any referees, Pine Hills would normally be here tonight, but he can't get on. One of the things that referees got to quit doing, and I've seen a lot here in Central Florida, if the if the foul is way on the other side of the field, hold it, because you technically can call holding any time, but
Yeah,
this guy's running to the right and this guy holds him on the left. You can't make that call, man. I've
yeah.
seen it, but that's
I've
but
seen
that
some bad
that,
stuff.
that's just one of the things that they got to stop. We had a guy last week, man. That man had at least, I promise you, I'm not exaggerating, threw his flags at least 20 times, and he called everything that you would ever call in a game. I'm talking about everything, pass interference, illegal formation. I mean, he hold it, no matter what he called it. I was like, finally, one time the head referee was like, "We picking the flag."
Game started
'Cause
to come about him, man.
he caught everything. But anyway,
This young
so
man.
let's get on this week, man. Let's get on this week. Let's see what we got. Well, who we got this week? We got our guys that like who are our top 10 teams for the big schools this week?
Big schools, we'll give a honorable mention or two.
Okay.
Deltona, undefeated Deltona, 4-0. They kicking at the door trying to get in that top 10. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with them in the next couple of weeks. Harmony also 4-0. They possibly could get in this thing here this week because looking at the number 10 team is EDGEWATER. They 4-0 and they actually play Harmony. So that's going to be a good matchup right there between two undefeated teams, 4-0. Somebody got to lose, so we'll see who takes that first loss of the season. Number 9, we looking at Cocoa. Cocoa, they started the season 0-2. They was pissed. As I see, they beat Space Coast 76-0. So they wanted to hurry up, get back on their winning ways.
Yeah, man, I love all them dudes, but Space Coast don't have nothing. I mean,
Hey
76 to nothing
man,
on them.
listen,
Yeah,
man, they
yeah,
put their pads on just like they did. So
yeah, but no,
hey,
they don't. They put them on like 2 legs at a time.
hey,
Because
listen, hey, Coco treated they
a
treated a
duck like a
duck
duck.
like a duck. That we
That's my,
always
that's my
say.
favorite. That's my favorite
That's what
favorite
they
saying.
did. So big shout out to their quarterback, Blake Boulder. He was 17 for 17 with 7 touchdowns and obviously no interceptions. He didn't have any incompletions, so that's total domination right there. Looking
Yeah,
at the number 8 spot, we got Mainland 2-1. They had a battle with Flagler Palm Coast, but they were able to come out victorious 22-16. So we got Mainland 2-1. Very exciting program. They had the number 8 spot.
Well, Mainland and Deltona, they're in the same district, so I'm assuming at some point they're gonna have to play, and that's gonna be a good game. And but before we go any further, we got to at least acknowledge Mark Nassant said, "Okay, Bishop Moore." For those that don't know, he probably still got some records at UCF as a wide receiver,
Yeah,
but but since AJ's for those who don't know, he's a Bishop Moore alum as well. So
straight up.
they might have some kind of signal that they're giving each other right now that we don't know nothing about. I
Nah.
mean, I'm just saying that, but no, but yeah, I look forward to seeing what time. Matter of fact, I'm trying to see what day they play. Oh, that's they play. They're in the same conference.
Who you talking about?
They play Maine on the 14th of October, Maine and Deltona. So I hope that they both keep winning, just so we can see, who wins that district.
Right, right, right.
All right. So who's number 7?
Number 7, we looking at Osceola. Osceola 1 and 2. They had to go on the road and play a stacked Lakeland team. They could have won that ball game. They lost 22-25. So it was a good game. They were up late in that game, but Lakeland found a way to score a late touchdown. But Osceola 1 and 2,
Yeah,
one of the best 1 and 2 teams
big shout out.
we gonna
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I mean, the only you got to give them a big shout out because no one. I picked them to win, but a lot of people didn't pick them to win because Lakeland is downright loaded. And
Loaded.
they went down there and performed well. EP can't be on today, and I told him I was going to say this uh, because unlike me, a real G, someone who handled his business, EP can't go because his wife got him to doing some work. So EP can't come on today. So yeah, so let's make sure. Matter of fact, let's pray for the brother right now. No, I'm just joking. But
Yeah,
EP really can't. He really can't come, because he's impact. It's just what he is. But if EP has a big one this week, we're gonna talk about that later. But EP's impact. So I told him I was gonna say that, y'all. But the only reason I'm talking noise because my wife got open house, so she can't even be on here to see nothing. But but who we got? Who we got number?
yeah.
Who's next up?
Smart
Ah,
trash talker, huh?
and y'all bet not, and none of y'all bet not tag her. Hey, you bet not tag her. That's all I gotta say. But
She gonna go on YouTube, watch the
right,
rerun, man.
right. They bet not
Nah,
tag her, man. If they do, it's on and popping.
yeah.
Right.
But Osceola, big shout out to Osceola because, like you said, I mean, their schedule is just
Oh, one more, yeah, like one thing, and
flat
we'll
out
talk about that.
disgusting.
We'll talk like what I'm gonna tell everybody is honestly, we have some teams that really, really, really made their schedules tough. Like I mean,
For no
We'll
reason.
start with Osceola. We'll start with Osceola since they're one, and then we got two more that had tough schedules. Three really that
Three
had
more,
tough schedules.
yeah, three
But
more.
I'm
Matter of fact, the next
maybe four.
team,
Yeah. No,
Jones
yeah.
1 and 2. They
But before
lost
I
to
forget,
Edgewater.
there's a big youth football game that I told them that I would talk about. We're just going to mention them on Sunday at Dr. Phillips. You had Orlando Outlaws against the West Orange Jags
So
at Dr.
Bowl.
Phillips on Sunday. So make sure that if you're not doing anything, you go out there and support the youth. Also, Chad Masco is going to be out there cooking chicken, ribs, meatloaf, all that. So just get out there and have some fun. I told him I would say that. So
Definitely. If you free Sunday, go out there. Those are two of the better youth programs in this area. Um, so yeah, definitely go check them out. Um, but
next
coming
up,
in
Jones.
at number 6 is Jones. That's another team we was talking about with a tough schedule.
Do got
Uh,
a tough schedule.
they kicked off the season with Miami Northwestern in the kickoff classic just to go the week 1 to go to Cocoa. Then they already went to Duncanville in Texas. They had to come home and play Edgewater. And now after they play West Orange this week, they got to go play IMG.
And West Orange defense is not to be, they're pretty decent. I
Very
mean,
solid defense.
defense hasn't really given up that much. So that's going to be a tough one. So they got a few bangers. But shout out to Jones High and Coach Elijah Williams. Just like a shout out to Coach EP, Coach Pinellas, because people don't realize, you know, what they're doing is they're making their teams battle tested. If they get to the playoffs,
They're gonna be ready.
they're gonna be a problem. Like they ain't gonna see somebody from someplace else, and like they're not gonna even see that. So big shout out to all those guys. All
Respect.
right,
Yeah.
who was number 6?
Number 6, we looking at Winter Park. Undefeated Winter Park 3-0. They beat University 35-0. It had a donut game.
Well,
Winter Park,
I do want to address one thing with that. See, the difference with them teams we just talking about, they're playing. Winter Park has got to historically, they have one of the softest schedules that Central Florida has ever had. They got to do a better job of scheduling because that's I think hurts them when they're trying to go to the playoffs. I remember Dr. Phillips used to be like that, and they never won until they start scheduling tougher opponents, and then they mess around and won state. So,
I
guys, I
mean,
think everybody
hey,
can learn from this. You can't just
what?
schedule a whole bunch of ducks.
Right. I mean, when I know that I'm not sure they district. I know they do play Ocoee in a couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Yep.
And I know they played Lake Brantley at the end of the season. So, but I mean, their schedule it ain't nothing
No,
to
we just talking
talk
about schedules. I like to see all these coaches, let you know you're in if you can play tough teams, it's just gonna make your team battle tested. Like when we in 7-on-7, we love to play a tough team before we get to the playoffs of seven. That just helps your team. But who we got? But shout out to Winter Park. Those guys are all rolling. Like they're doing what always say, which is treat a duck like a duck. But
Yep, they 4-0. They keep
yep,
winning, so it
right.
is what it is. Looking at the number 4 spot, we looking at Lake
Five.
Minneola.
Who was five?
5 was Winter Park.
Okay.
Jones was 6.
All right.
Osceola was 7.
Okay.
Mainland 8. Cocoa 9. EGALLIE 10. So we
Okay.
looking at 4 right now. We looking at Lake Minneola. They're undefeated, 4-0. They treated a duck like a duck. They beat East Ridge last week 60-6. Um,
Yeah, Banks
they
don't
have
like
a
them.
they
Banks don't
have
like
a
60. Yeah, he don't like them. I don't even know. Hey man, all I know is you meet somebody 60, you just don't like them. So it's what it is.
Hey man, they had to get some. They had I don't know what it was, but they beat East Ridge 60-6. They got a big game this week. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
But
but they
yeah,
know the teams know each other because they were in the same district last year.
yeah,
So their teams know each other. So I think last year, Mainland came away with the victory, and
Mainland won,
both of them had a lot of young teams. So
and
that should be a good team.
Mainland ended up going to the playoffs,
Mhm.
playing Jones for the second time that season. Yep, Mainland won. But number 3, we're looking at Rockledge, 4-0. Man, very, very impressive team so far. They beat Bayside 42-0. They also have had a pretty solid schedule.
Oh, they do. They got a nice
Yeah,
schedule.
very hard schedule.
Yeah.
And they've only given up 7 points all season, and that was to Doral Academy late in the fourth quarter when they had some of their 2s and 3s
Right.
in. So you're looking at a team that pretty much shut everybody out that they played. So that's a very impressive team. So Rockledge looking at the 3 spot.
Shout out to Traven Green.
Yep.
We got some breaking news. Traven will be invited to play in the Legends Junior Showcase. So very excited for him. He's been balling. He might be the
Balling.
missing piece that they missed last year. So shout out to him and
Correct.
shout out to Tyrone Gibson, defensive coordinator over there. He's doing a tremendous job as well.
Yep. Head Coach Younger over there doing a good
Yep.
job. And then number 2, we're looking at Edgewater Eagles, 4-0. Find a way to win the close games. They beat Jones 14-13. They're at home this week against a tough APOPKA defense. But yeah, we got Edgewater at the number 2 spot. And number 1 is Seminole. They beat Evans 51-0. It's a lot what we expected. I think you personally predicted that score 49-0. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out where them other 2 points came from.
Probably
Um,
a safety.
Safety, or we had
Probably
a
they went for
whole
two.
bunch
They
of
might have went
extra
for two.
missed
Yeah.
extra points and something. Yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, they beat
Right.
Evans 51-0. They're
And
on
and
the
they took the
road.
throttle. They took the throttle off too. Like they really could have beat them by a little bit more. Classy move by Seminole and Coach Lodge them to not run up the score. By the way,
They could have got a 60 piece.
now they could have got an 80 piece.
Oh,
Yeah, they
they
really
could
could
have.
have.
So what? Coco 76 nothing. They said
Nah,
nah.
nah. They like Coco went ahead and ran them because they've been losing.
So they
But
had to. Okay, it's
yeah,
justified
but
when you.
yeah,
Okay,
but
I got
yeah,
you.
but Seminole is like, hey, we're gonna let y'all make it. Let y'all get home. They did a pretty good job. And Edgewater Popka, that's gonna be a thumper. Edgewater last year played at Apopka. They held said to what 65 yards, but to be honest, and I tell people this all, that's the game I knew that he was really like that because it, last year Apopka had some
Last year, Parker
yeah,
defense
yeah,
was loaded.
yeah, and when I saw said do that, but it's going to be interesting to see what AJ and he's not kin to Pig them, but it'll be interesting to see what he does because
Nah, he
I
not
we I,
getting the pig.
I left this part out. I don't know who hit him at the Jones game when he fumbled the ball, but in his defense, I would act like I was dead too
I think it.
because
I think
he
it
let
was. I think it was Malik.
Hey, he laid on the ground for at least, I'm talking about, like, bro, I thought he was dead. I was like, man, I'm like, Lord, please, somebody come get this young man, because he lay. But in his defense, I would have done the same thing, because that was a
Crazy.
crucial point in the game when he did that. So,
He was
but
all right
Seminole,
though.
yeah, he was good, and that's what we pray for. But Seminole is loaded. You were going to tell the people they're going down to Venice, which is a
Venice. Yep.
very tough place to play.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Atmosphere
Uh,
tough.
I can't wait to see it. I want to see what these boys do. Venice is loaded at the DB position. They have three DBs that'll go power five. It's strength against strength.
Yep.
You have a defensive backfield against the wide receivers at Seminole. So I know for personally, I'll be on score stream checking it out the whole time. But we'll see what happens. So with that being said, we had our real important time. We might as well let them know. People know we're going to talk about our games of the week, but we might as well let them know. Do you want to let them know who? Well, let's just start from the top because ain't no sense in giving them too much.
All right. So
First
we
game,
start from the first game. Harmony versus Gallie, two undefeated teams.
a
It's gonna
battle, a
be a
battle
good
for who
one.
gonna be somebody gonna get knocked out.
Yeah,
E-
somebody.
yeah, Harmony has a chance to take Egali out of there.
Yep. So I like Gallie to keep winning. I think they have a couple more athletes than Harmony, so I'm gonna go with Gallie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Harmony just so we can always. But where are we at though? Like, before I go with Harmony, how far am I behind before I do that?
Oh, yeah, okay. You want to hear these
Yeah,
stats? All right.
yeah.
Last week, um, last week did you pick? Last week you picked Osceola. I
Uh huh.
mean, but you picked Lake Mary or Lake Brandy?
I picked Lake Mary because remember you took Lake Brantley, and we have this. I'm glad you said that, man, because I always forgot. And I meant to send this to everybody, but today you picked Lake Brantley because you were going against Anthony Marshall, who is not on the broadcast. Well, y'all bet some wings, so Anthony Marshall owe you some wings. But I was at your house on Saturday because the Lake Mary game got postponed because of all the water on the field, and
Right.
as I'm there, I was on the phone with Anthony to make sure we wanted to verify where it was going to be at, and he said they will win by 17. So I took the bet because I didn't think they would win by 17. And so needs to say they were up 21-7. I'm sure he was feeling good when they threw the interception. And then that made it 21-14. Then they scored. So it was like a bad beats. So needs to say he's a man of his word. I got the picture. I went out there today. Hold on, let me see. So I have to plug it up because they made uh so we went over there, man, and I went ahead and got to his credit. Look at the brother.
Hey, he a good
Yeah.
sport,
The the,
man.
bro- the brother who took me to Stonington's.
You
Hey man,
got you some shrimps, bro.
Yeah. Hey Stonington's, y'all might need to give us some kind of sponsorship for this guy.
Hey, I'm
The
trying to tell you,
the
man.
food
Matter of
the
fact,
food
we
was
need to look at
outstanding.
that.
The food was outstanding. They did a great job, and the brother took care of me. So big shout out to Anthony. He's a good sport, man. I really appreciate him. He didn't have to do that. So so if anybody else want to make some bets with us when we doing these,
Run it.
hey, we taking all bets. All right. So uh, what's my record before I pick the Harmony Egali game?
Okay, so your game of the week record, you 3-1 in the
Okay.
game of the week, the big game. But
Okay.
your overall record, you 13-10.
Okay. What's your record for the
Uh,
overall?
game of the week, I'm 3-1 too. Took my first loss, and overall, I'm 15-8.
Okay, so then I gotta be sure. So I'll take Harmony because I don't. I'll take Harmony because we got to make up some ground. All right, go ahead.
Okay, you got
All right,
Harmony.
yeah.
I got Gallie. Okay, that next game we looking at Edgewater versus Apopka. I'm gonna take Edgewater easily. I'm not gonna say easily, but I'm gonna
Wow.
take Edgewater.
Oh, taking Edgewater. I'm not gonna say easily because
Right, right. I ain't
I
gonna
just think
no
that.
disrespect like that.
But I just think that I think that actually a pop will probably uh, they're going to probably contain said to a certain degree because like if they do what they did last year they put 9 people in the box with the safety coming downhill. And that's when we learned about Mr. Kai
I mean,
Bates. Remember?
listen. So look, this is the thing with Apopka. Historically, just the makeup of the program, it's a tough culture program, so their defense gonna be tough. At the same time, AG, they had a whole lot more pieces last year.
True.
A whole lot more. I'm talking about pieces that's playing right now on Saturday as freshmen.
Yeah.
So
Just one is going to come on TV in a second.
Coastal Carolina,
Yeah.
exactly. Josiah. So you're looking at Josiah,
And
you're looking at
one that
Trey,
would easily have been Trey Barnes would have easily
you're
been.
looking at Nakai, you're looking at Pete, like
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Big
they
Mike
gonna
was
be able to
balling.
do what they did last year. The over under for me is 150.
I'll call you
Over
back. Hold on,
under
man.
150.
My wife called me, man. I just want to make sure you okay, baby. Okay, well I'll see you in a minute. All right. Yeah, nobody. I'm just making sure nobody ain't call in on me, dog. Cause she, hey, I had to check. Hey, you can with your wife, you can tell by the tone, like, cause
Gauge
if
the
she,
temperature.
right, I was trying to get, you okay, baby? Hey, for you young fellas out there, y'all might want to peep game. But anyway, so we both got them. So who's next up?
Um, Next up, we looking at Then we said Harmony versus EDGEWATER. Oh, we looking at Seminole versus Venice. I'm gonna go with Seminole. I like Seminole. I think they're the best team in the area. We got them ranked number one. I'm going with Seminole.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get me to go against Seminole, especially against Venice. I want to see those guys. Venice beat my son's team last year, so you know I want to see those guys. And big shout out to, like I said, the coaching staff at Seminole is phenomenal. Like I would just say this to parents out there everywhere. They're one of the few staffs that I know that they will see a kid play that's not even on their team, and they will tell college coaches about him. So, that's to be commendable. That says a lot about Coach Lodge because I'm a firm believer that all these kids are our kids. There's no such thing as, but the only reason that you're not coaching the kid, they don't live where you live. So if you care about the kids, you should help all of them. Big shout out to Seminole for that. Nobody can tell me nothing about them. I give them a lot of credit. All right. So we both going with Seminole, and then that gives us the game of the week. The game of the week is who?
Well, we had one more.
Oh, go ahead. One more. What's one more?
I honestly don't even want to talk about it. We could go straight to game of the
No,
week.
no, no. Let's get that one more then. Who we got?
Man, we got Osceola versus Rockledge,
Oh,
man.
I thought we did that. My bad. Yeah,
Nah, we didn't do it yet, man.
yeah. Well,
I'm gonna go let you pick, and then we're gonna see.
all right. Hey, I'm telling you now, I'm going with Osceola. No, mainly because two reasons. Eventually, Chad is gonna give me some damn food. Hey, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. If I don't get no food this week, then
You
damn
ain't
it, I
picking
I,
them no more.
I pick them no more the rest of the season. I mean what I say. But but unless except when they play Toho, and when they get in a little garbage district, I got to give it up for them. But uh, I'm gonna go with him, and also Tyrone. I know that like Tyrone wouldn't want me picking for him anyway, because I know how he is. Tyrone, he want me to be against him just so he can use that as motivation. So I wouldn't do my dog like that either. But it's gonna be a hell of a game. Uh, I think it's gonna be a better game than people think. Uh, it's gonna be a hell of a game. I can't wait to see. That's one game I will be on Huddle watching. I promise you.
All right, so I guess to make it interesting, I'm gonna go with Rockledge then. I go with
Man, stop!
Rockledge.
I'm done. I'm not gonna make it interesting. You was going for Rockledge anyway, man. Don't be trying to tell these people this. Man, you was going for Rockledge anyway. Stop it.
No,
No, stop
we
it.
make it interesting.
Oh, You can't even say that shit without laughing.
Hey, look,
Hey man, I learned one thing tonight. I cannot let your ass lie for me, cause you, boy, you gonna get somebody killed. Hey,
all right, hey,
my one.
look, all right, look, all right, look, all right, look, all right, seriously, seriously. I want all the Osceola people to know I like y'all, but the games that I didn't pick y'all, I was right. Right?
Yeah,
So it wasn't like I ain't like I'm like just like, but I just think I don't know, man. I think Rockledge for real this year, bro. Like I saw him in the spring game versus Jones. They were impressive. It was Traven first game back for real,
right.
for real. He only played 3 games last year. They still were a playoff team. I think they lost in the second round. Um,
They added
I
Eddie
just
Combs. They added Eddie Combs.
they added Eddie Combs. They got so many young pieces, and they're at home. So I'm gonna go with Rockledge. I stand on it. I'm gonna go with Rockledge. But shout out to EP and Osceola for this crazy schedule, though, bro. That's just they don't Seminole, Lakeland, and Rockledge,
Hey, well, I'm
bro.
gonna
That's
say this.
crazy.
To be honest, that you can shout out me, man, because uh, to be honest, man, I'm the one that set up that game. I'm the one that when T Rome called, I made the calls. Shout out to T Rome and Coach. I ain't gonna lie, them boys was trying to get schedules. I
They
got to give
were,
them.
man.
I'm trying, hey man. Them boys was trying to get schedules, so I have nothing but respect for them. Jones
Salute,
got
man.
scheduled. Seminole, we got Edgewater had scheduled, so I appreciate.
All of them,
I
bro.
man, for me, I love that kind of stuff because
Because
you,
it makes them ready for the playoffs. So when they go see a
Miami, a
Miami
team from
team,
Miami,
a Tampa team, a Jacksonville team,
they ain't
they
scared.
ready. They gonna be ready.
Yeah, and big shout out. And it was strategic. I would say that T. Rome and Pinellas, I know for a fact. I didn't even speak to Seminole because they know, but those guys strategically made sure their schedule was going to be tough. Like just like if if you look at they did that strategically so that they could work on their stuff. So when they get to the playoffs, because both of them have like cake conferences. So when they
Right,
get because the reason I say not Seminole has good teams in their conference. The only team that's not really good is Evans
right.
because Lake Brandley it ain't no easy lake. Lake Mary
No,
ain't easy, and neither is APOPKA. They got to come and play with all of them. They can't they and of course those teams want to beat them. So shout out to all those guys. So uh, you know, we I am very proud of like I said that's our pick 'em. We're at the end of the show. Got done a little early today. Uh, you know, uh, got we started a little early. Got done a little early. Is there anything you want to tell the people out there?
nah, man. I just want to continue to have fun to the young men. Go out there. Don't forget the main thing, man. The main thing is your athletics. Along with your athletics comes the academics. So take care of the classroom. Be great in the classroom. It translates over in life. When you great at one thing, you're gonna want to be great at everything. So just be great. But yeah, man, I can't wait to continue to go out to these games, continue to see these talented young men. We'll have another good one
Yo,
this
yo,
week.
yo.
Lake Minniola versus Mainland. So we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, that was
You
it. We
there?
had a little, yeah, we had a little technical difficulty, but I heard the last thing I heard was be great. So you be great at more than one thing.
Yeah, just being great. Like when you practice certain habits, it carry overs into life. So just try to be great in football, and I guarantee you that will bleed over in life into your academics, into your personal, around the house. Like you just it's contagious.
All right, well, someone asked if we recap them picks, so let's go. We first game we had uh
First game we got Harmony versus E Galley. You
I,
got Harmony, I got E Galley.
okay.
Second game we have Edgewater versus APOPKA. We both took Edgewater. The third game we got Seminole visiting Venice. We both gonna roll with Seminole. The last game is Osceola versus Rockledge. You're gonna go with Osceola. I'm going with Rockledge. Game of the
You know
week.
we did we pick game of the week? We sure
Nah, we
didn't.
finna go game of the week right
Okay.
now. Game of the week is a 2-1 Mainland visiting a 4-0 Lake Minneola. Lake Minneola has historically shown that they are the best team in Lake County. But
Easily.
Mainland, on the other hand, has shown that historically that
Best team in Volusia County.
they're the best team in Volusia County, and it's been like that. I think Mainland just got one too many dudes.
The game is at Lake Minneola, correct?
It's at Lake Mineola,
Okay.
but I think that Mainland is going to win that ball game, so I'm rolling with Mainland.
And I got nothing but love for Mainland, and Coach Travis T. Rowland's my guy. Uh, but I'm gonna pick Lake Minneola because they're at home. I'm
Okay,
gonna pick them because they're at home. Plus, I need to catch up. So,
you trying to
so
catch up in 2 games? I
right,
see what
right,
you're
right,
doing
right,
there,
right. So
but
we
it
yeah.
might
So
set you back 4 now, though. But
yeah,
that's okay
it
though.
might, but hey,
It might.
I gotta try to reach early because we don't want to be reaching late. So I'm gonna go with. Plus, Lake Minneola has been playing pretty good. They're at home. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll underestimate Mainland.
Nope.
And so we'll see what happens. But you're gonna be at that game, correct?
Yep, I'll be at that game. I think that, like you said, I think Coach Banks will have his ball club ready to go. I don't think it'll be a blowout by either team. I think it'll be a very competitive ball game. I'm looking at some one-score type of game.
Okay. And so, hey, so did we recap that? I don't know who asked that, but hey, that was a good thing that you asked for the recap. And also, with that being said, the one thing that we want to make sure everyone understands is we have a couple of things going on. We have next week, on next Wednesday, we'll have our mid-season top 10 at each position. The thing that really got everybody fired up, who's it? And we got a lot of changes because, like, the difference is we not going to be looking at your star rankings.
We don't care about those
We don't care
stars,
for it.
bro.
We're gonna look at what you're doing on the field. So, we got like our committee. Hey, it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of guys that if you ain't played this year, then hey, we got to take you out the rankings because you ain't played this year. It's just what it is. I don't care if you the number one kid in the country. If you ain't played, then hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, for real.
So it's going to be interesting to do that. Also, nominations went out today, uh, and so well, now nominations went out
Nominations without Monday.
Monday
Monday, we
to
sent
to all
nominations to all
to all the
coaches.
college, all the coaches in the Central Florida area that we use for the Elite 100 game. That's everybody in Lake, Brevard, uh, Volusia, Orange, Seminole, and I'm missing someone.
Osceola.
Osceola. So, hey, parents, if because we also with the nomination form, if you have to have a 2.5 to play in this game
Right.
because we're going to have college coaches at the event. So, there's no sense in letting you play if you can't even qualify for school. It's just what it is.
Yep.
So, but parents, we send out to coaches. Once again, it's a free event, so there's no reason that And shout out to all the coaches who've already made nominations. Big shout out, because
Yep.
there are definitely some coaches that are out there making nominations for your kids. And I'll say this, parents. A lot of times I hear parents complain about coaches, and and rightfully so, but there are some coaches out there that really are caring about the kid and trying to get them an opportunity. And so, for those coaches who reached out to us and made nominations, we really appreciate it. And parents, if you have a question, you can ask your coach, did he make a nomination?
Absolutely.
But as far as that's the, that is definitely a big time. Like every we're not just looking for the Cedric Baxters of the world for the All Star game. We're looking for kids who really need some help.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it's going to be some kids that drop what they play. It's going to be some kids that rise up. Shout out to a lot of the kids that wrote that they might have been honorable mention or might not have been, and they showed us that they were like that.
Like that.
We have quite a few of those guys, so we really appreciate that. So anything else you got for the people?
Nah, man, we'll be back next week, same place, same time. I think my man's internet went out. It's all good. We holler at y'all boys and gals next week. Peace.